went back to look at one of the events that we were making fun of Bellator, because in our first episode, fucking Celebrity UFC event, we discussed Bellator's incompetence and stupidity. Now, Bellator was not responsible for the event that we were talking about when we were making fun of it after the show. The event we're talking about is the one and only UFC event held by Oscar De La Hoya, where Tito Ortiz faced Chuck Liddell. Chuck Liddell
fucking limps to the weigh-in.
He fucking limps to the weigh-in.
He's limping. He looks fucking bow-legged. Like, he's fucking,
like Tito Ortiz. Tito Ortiz was a bitch for that, man. Because, you know, Liddell beats Ortiz. And Liddell beats Ortiz. You know, he knocks him out. And it's like Tito waited for Chuck to get decrepit. It's like while he was waiting for Chuck to get decrepit so he could beat him, just so he can get that knockout back from like fucking 10 years ago. But it's just...
Man, Liddell was like low on money or some shit. Like, it's like, how much? 20 grand? I'll do it. I'll fucking do it, man.
I'll fucking do it.
Oh, shit.
Oh my god, it was so fucking... Okay, so he didn't need the money, but I mean, it's Oscar De La Hoya. It was his first mixed martial arts fucking event, and he wanted to have like this big deal. So I think he paid up to the mills for that.
Oh really?
So, you know, if one more chance to go up to the mills, hey, fuck it. And plus, it's a guy you've already beaten twice. Granted, when you're limping...
that paints a totally different picture of Chuck Liddell than what I just said.
When you're limping...
He got big bucks for that.
When you're limping to the fucking weigh-ins.
Yeah, you know you got paid a lot for that
is
shit.
the money worth it?
He probably like budgeted that shit. He's like, let's see, hospital bills, still left over with like 800,000. Yeah, I'll do it.
I think Chuck threw away that fight. I think, all right, there you go, Tito. You got your knockout. You happy? You happy? You fucking waited 10 years till Liddell retired while you stayed active. Just to fucking
just holding
get your
a grudge.
Back.
Just holding a fucking grudge the whole time. Fuck Chuck Liddell.
I can imagine he wants to tie it up. He's gonna wait until Chuck Liddell's in a fucking retirement home. He's like all swollen, jacked and shit, juiced up, beating the shit out of an old, resting at a nursing home Chuck Liddell.
Chuck Liddell gets into the fucking octagon in a wheelchair. Like...
He wheels his way to the way.
Imagine that shit when like these, like, because MMA is fairly modern, like
fairly modern, but I mean now
so,
it's
like,
20 years ago, and these were like athletes who were in their 20s, 30s.
Yeah, but still though they're still not old people.
They're like,
let's wait, like,
not old.
If 20 years later they're gonna be like, or not even like 30 years later, these dudes are gonna be in their 80s.
In their 80s, yeah.
And let's have them fight now.
Yeah, no,
in their 80s, like.
Oh yeah, but man, fucking, if you
old
Oscar De La Hoya, at this point, when you see a man limping to the fucking weigh-in, I don't care how much you try to. By the way, the funniest part is they just said, "Oh, these two have a rivalry that goes way back." Okay, but when they're video packages, they can't show you shit because of the fact that they don't own any of the rights to it. So they're just talking shit, like with it jump cutting to like them back and forth. Because they don't have the rights to UFC, and that's why Dana White was even talking shit.
Yeah, and Dana White talked shit about that. He's like, what the fuck, Oscar?
Yeah.
And then Oscar was like...
He kept calling Oscar a cokehead.
That's some shit. I forgot what Oscar said. He's like, Chuck wanted this, man.
Chuck wanted... Yeah, because I feel bad. Because Dana was Chuck... Everybody forgets. Dana was Chuck Liddell's manager. So it's like his longtime friend and real-life friend. And fucking Dana's the one who told him, dude, retire. You're good, alright? And it's just like, what do you think hurt Dana White more to watch? Fucking Liddell getting just murdered by Rampage in Pride when he was bringing the UFC champion to Pride? Or seeing Chuck Liddell get murdered by Tito Ortiz when he's old as fuck? And granted, Chuck Liddell could probably kick our asses.
Hell yeah.
That's fine.
Sure.
But still, we're not UFC fighters who are still actively going. Like, Ortiz was still going.
I don't know. How about both of us against Chuck Liddell?
We just have to keep on.
After the Tito Ortiz fight. That increases our chances more.
Then he's already
a
dead.
little more. I think he'd still fuck us up.
I think we could both, me and you could both take on Chuck Liddell if we just, on some fucking wrestling technique style shit, we just go for his leg. We just go for his limping leg.
Or just fucking run away from him the whole time until he tires out.
Just go run away from him and then just drop
until his fucking
leg.
knees give out.
Until his knees give out. Challenge him to a game of basketball.
So you got me, he taps out. He just sits down and taps out. I can't. You guys won.
Challenge him to a game of basketball. He goes to... No. Oh, man, but shit. It's just like, I can't... Oh, my God, I couldn't. I'm sorry, I couldn't. I can't.
What the fuck are you saying?
I've seen so many weird shit in weigh-ins, but I couldn't stop laughing when I saw Chuck's ass limping to the fucking scale. Like, if you can't even walk 5 feet without limping.
Oh man, you're definitely not ready for a fight.
You were not ready for a fight at all. If you can't walk,
Oscar's like, that's the best we're gonna get him, man.
It's like you could have at least told. And the funny part is, it's like okay,
dude, I gave you a year.
The fans wouldn't have noticed it, but if you're a fucking Oscar De La Hoya, you work with a production company. Why didn't, as soon as you see him like take a fucked up step, pan in to Chuck Liddell, shoulder up,
that'd be obvious as shit.
Zoom in on his face. So you don't see him limp
they show
to the fucking ring.
They fuck up and they show like 2 seconds of limping. Like, oh, what? Whoa. Zoom into his eyes. They get out. He's fucking limping, so they zoom in, but they zoom into like his fucking beer belly. And fucking, oh shit, no. They hire him, his fucking face looks like dead. He's like, oh shit. Where do we...
Fucking man, you could have cut to Tito's face.
Anywhere you look, he just looks fucked up and old.
But when you fucking... No, because I mean, if you would have done shoulder up and you had a smooth cameraman, you could have gotten away with it. But he's fucking... The shot that they choose is a wide shot. A regular wide shot. So it's not like the podium covers his legs.
Like
no,
it's
like the cameraman wanted to show you
that's what I'm saying.
that
like,
was out.
Look at what we have here. Like, that cameraman worked for Dana White. He was inside.
He looked like a fucking weak animal that like a lion was about to get ready to eat. Like, he'd be that dude in those fucking apocalypse movies where like the earthquake or the fire's coming. He's the guy who isn't fast enough to make it out. And what makes it funnier is he was kind of limping on his way to the ring too. It's just like, and Tito did not give one fuck. He was just waiting. He was so bitter about that loss.
He's like, nice, he's limping. Now's my chance.
Easy blood. I would love it if commentary just tries to put that over. Oh, Chuck Liddell's limping, Tito. Tito smells blood in the water. He's a vicious predator. He's not a vicious predator. He's fighting a guy who's came out of retirement to get murdered.
And they know this shit. Like, I remember I saw the weigh-ins on Instagram, and all the comments were like, what the fuck? He's limping. Like, he's definitely way past his prime, because he could barely walk to the fucking...
Chuck Liddell has no real friends. Dana White might... I'm pretty sure Dana tried to call him. It's like, Chuck, was the money worth it, man? Well, you could have just done another movie role or some shit. You didn't need to get your ass whooped. You just... You know, there's that big saying where there's those fights that take away from a fighter's legacy, and you don't take the fighter seriously anymore. And you don't want to be that one fighter who's like not in his prime anymore and not doing good. Or you don't want to be that guy who, you know, The Undertaker. He said that, because he still wrestles now, and he says, I don't want to be that guy who like comes down to the ring and there's a young child and like the kid's dad is telling him, oh man, he's okay now, but you should have seen him when he was back in the day. You don't want that. And I feel that. Right? That to Chuck Liddell, like, as intimidating as I found him, as respected as I found him, all respect goes out the fucking window. You cannot look bad unless you're an amputee of war or disabled from being a veteran of serving these great United States. You can't look badass limping to a fucking scale. You can't look badass limping on the way to a fight. Fuck, man. I didn't even, like... It's like, I batted no eye to that UFC fighter who just only had one hand. I didn't give a shit about that. Didn't bat no mind, didn't think nothing of it. The only time that I was like, man, this guy's at an unfair advantage is when one of these motherfuckers is swole as shit, had a bunch of fights, and the other guy has a beer gut, flabby. Did he even take his shirt off for that weigh-in?
I don't know.
I don't think he took his shirt off for that weigh-in. And the other guy comes limping to the fucking ring. And the funny part is, the betting odds were still in fucking Lidell's favor. Why? Who sees him limping and says, 500 on Lidell right now?
Someone on the inside. More.